Three.
Hello, and welcome to Conversational Pressure, where we discuss real life topics, share our truths, and encourage listeners to help. Oh, oh, by help, look, we got to start that over. I done messed that up. Oh, y'all. Okay. We encourage listeners by helping to nurture, heal, and inspire, all while making you laugh and sometimes cry, but both we plan on giving you hope. I am one of your hosts, Key, and today we will be recapping previous episodes. With me today, I have my co-host.
Well, we said we was gonna make them laugh and then sometimes cry. You know, we starting off right. Ooh, okay. Oh, I thought we was waiting. You know what I be waiting on, John.
Go ahead.
All right.
So, pilot episode 1 was survival of the strong Black woman.
Yes. And that was a very important topic to me, because I myself, have been that woman. But I'm in my self-care era now. So whatever. During that episode, though, we did make a lot of valid points. I believe it was you, D, and I.
Yeah.
Yes. So there were a lot of valid points made and a lot of takeaways. Since then, I've still see a lot of different situations with people and women and feeling the need to be the strong Black woman.
It's just instinct.
Yeah.
You just pick up and do it, and whatever needs to be done, and get it done, and keep it moving.
Yeah. It's I never healed, I just kept going.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I meant to say during that segment. And when we're all trying to communicate what we want to communicate, sometimes you forget things, which is why we decided to do the recap today, to just retouch on these subjects and add any additional takeaways that we may not have added in the first go around. But yes, a lot of us never heal, we just keep going, and that's a trauma response.
Exactly. And that's what makes you feel like you have to be strong. It's no other option.
Yeah. And it kind of leads us into our episode 5 of what does healing look like. That's the one thing I do feel like each of our segments have attached to another one in one way or another.
Exactly.
They all keep along the same line.
Because sometimes healing never comes. We just, like you said, keep on going.
Yeah, because that's the only thing we know how to do.
Right. You just got to pick up and set them feelings to the side and go back on with real life.
And a lot
Although
more.
that's real life, but you got to go on with your life as it is now.
Right.
Not previous to whatever you're trying to heal from.
Right.
So it makes you have to be strong.
And sometimes better, unfortunately, when you don't allow the room for healing. Like knowing what we know now.
Some things I would have done different.
Right, of course. But the fact that we didn't, like I always say, yeah, we both probably could have handled that differently, but we didn't.
Right.
But here we are. But with that,
and being strong doesn't always mean you're doing everything. You're not asking for help. You're just like you're a superwoman. Being strong is knowing when you need help and also asking for the help and also reaching out and letting people know or just venting to people that you feel comfortable venting to.
Right.
It doesn't mean you're strong because you keep it bottled in and never want to say anything to anybody.
That is not what strong means.
No. Being strong is being strong enough to stand having a conversation with somebody on a certain topic, even if it may hurt you.
Yes. Yes.
And keep pushing forward afterwards. Because you just, being strong is never giving up.
Yeah. And pushing forward in a positive light, if possible.
Exactly.
You know, and not to really dive deep into, because that episode was actually an hour or so long.
Exactly.
So we had a lot of things that we discussed, and not to dive too deep into it, but being strong is a positive. It's a positive to have, but it's knowing when to be strong and how, you know, that being strong can affect you. Because mainly, like, as women and as mothers, we feel like we have to, but it is okay to be tired, and it is okay to sometimes just say, you know what?
I'm done.
Right.
Wave my right flag. I surrender.
Yep.
And then that also brings us to the state of our youth.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes our youth see what we're doing, being strong, and think that's how they have to be. They don't want to depend on anybody. They don't want to look for people to help them. They don't want to reach out and talk to anybody. They just become lost because they see most of their parents being strong, but they don't know what it took for them to get to that point.
And it sets unrealistic expectations sometimes.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
I'm going to use a lot of young men in particular. They will see their mom being this, so that's what they expect. They think that that's the healthy way for it to be, when in all actuality, it's not.
Right.
You know,
it should be all the way rounded.
Yeah, like you see that in your mate, and you like, oh, okay, yeah, she just like my mother in that aspect, but you just don't know. Like you said, you don't know
what it took for that person. Yeah. What it took for that person to get where they are. Yeah. How many disappointments they went through. How many letdowns they had. How many heartbreaks they had. How many people they thought were going to be there for them, but turned their back on them, or just couldn't be there for them because they were doing their own. They had their own issues going on. Because every time you go through something, everybody that's in your corner is not always going to be 100% available. So that's an unrealistic expectation.
It really is. It really is. You're
because
right.
People have their own things going on.
And so that's another thing. Like, I hear people say...
And sometimes things that they don't talk about.
Right. So that part. So
you won't know that they're going through something.
Right. So that's what I was getting ready to say. Like, you have people like, don't look at my absence as, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being there for you. I might actually be dealing with something myself.
Exactly.
But what they say is check on your strong friends. You know, in all of this, listen, it definitely plays a part in so many aspects. Like, particularly like last week's episode about what does healing look like. Oh Lord. I literally said we were going to have a half an hour episode, and it turned into way more than a half an hour.
Sometimes.
Yeah, because it's once we get started, you know, it's kind of easy to just
spirals out of control.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So the conversation just keeps going. But yeah, the state of our youth, you know, I am really understanding more and more as I literally said to Sean this morning, I'm going to give you a perfect example. With the situation that happened up at Carver. I said, and we're wondering why our children are like this.
Right, because look what we're teaching.
Parents.
Right, look at what we're teaching them.
Like, come on. Are you serious right now? So the state of our youth is a direct result of us. The lack of the village.
Right.
I'm going to say it, a lot of these mothers being strong, not asking for help, having these sons thinking that they their husbands in real life.
Right. allowing the sons to be out in the street doing whatever because they bringing in money and helping in the home. But as a mother, I feel like you have to do what you have to do. If you have to get another job on top of your one job, when you're a mother, you have to do what you have to do. It's been plenty of times where I didn't want to go to work, but I had 2 kids that I needed to get up and go to work for.
Yep.
Can't live nowhere for free.
This is true. And it's just the lack of a support. Like, you know, it's a lot of people don't have that village. Episode 4.
Right.
A lot of people don't have that support system to be able to
Exactly.
let their head down, or, you know, to be able to even call on somebody to help them out.
Because it's so much broken trust. Broken trust because you have to be strong. Broken trust because you had to be a youth that was put in hardships that you didn't need to be in. Broken trust because of cheating
in
or
relationships,
friendships, or things that just have gone wrong, and you seen them coming, but you just didn't want to believe it.
Isn't that the truth?
So all of this plays a part, because sometimes the strong woman is because she was cheated on.
Sometimes the strong woman is because as a youth,
you had nobody to depend on but yourself. Or maybe a few people from your village that you did have a village, but it may have been like maybe your aunts, your uncles. But I mean, and everything isn't to say that it's just women doing it.
No.
Men too.
No,
It's some strong men out here because they had to no be. Other choice. They had to be.
And then that rolls over into, so pretty much, yes, the survival of the strong Black woman, it definitely applies to men, because it rolls over and it has the same effects on their relationships as if with, you know, friendships, intimate relationships. It has the same effect for them as it does for us.
And sometimes that spirals down to cheating and its consequences. Because, I mean, you see so many things, reasons why people cheat. I feel myself, if you're not happy with the person, you should let that person go. Or you should move on yourself, because really at the end of the day, nobody's happiness matters but yours. You're the only one that have to live with being unhappy. You're the only one that has to live with the consequences from you cheating.
Oh, shoot. Excuse me. I done choked on my water. I'm sorry. Episode 1. Dang, I don't even know what just happened. Okay, go ahead.
She's taking water breaks.
I'm sorry.
And then that goes back to, like we already touched, what happened to the village. Somehow the village has
dismantled.
Yes.
Somehow. We see why. Because when you're doing things like taking your kid to a gunfight, that's a problem.
Yes.
That's a major problem. And so you can only imagine how those parents operate, if you get what I'm saying. You probably can't say nothing to their kid.
Right. And then again, working in a school, things happen with children where the parents get tired because the school doesn't want to help. They don't want you to contact the Board of Education. They want to have a meeting that goes nowhere several times. But in the meanwhile, one child is still being bullied and antagonized because they went and told
that somebody was bothering them.
Right. So then when it happens, that the parent's like, look, that's it. You got to do what you got to do. I can't be there. And sometimes it ends up in a bad situation for both families.
Yeah. See,
No,
but
I'm
that-
not taking the child
Yeah,
back to
because
the
see, I'm
school
like, I just don't feel like that should ever
with a
be-
gun.
Yeah,
And
that
take
just
you back to the school with them hands.
that just becomes entirely too much, especially when it's like the state of our youth. What are you out here fighting for? You know, you look at our parents, for instance. They were really fighting for something like equal rights. These kids are fighting because you said something about me on Instagram.
Right. I told a child today, she was like, well, she was talking about me on Twitter. If you hadn't went on Twitter, would you knew she was talking about you?
Or somebody
Did she
sent it
put
to
your
her.
name?
Mm-hmm.
Did she say your name?
Did she tag you?
Did she tag you in it? If it wasn't directed, it shouldn't be respected. You don't know she was talking about you. She could have been talking about anybody on Twitter. But it just so happened that y'all have a situation.
So now everything she says.
So now
about you.
everything, and everybody is not worried about you. The situation could be dead. But if they say something that may seem like a little familiar to your situation, first thing you want to do is, she was talking about me.
Well, you know, I went through that.
I mean, grow up.
I mean, but see, my
You're
thing,
almost 50.
but this was my thing with that. Even in my situation, the person posted all the subliminals they wanted to, and what I do,
No.
ignored it, because guess
Right.
what? If you
Because
can't
you got my number. If you want to talk to me, you call me and talk to me. You ain't got to tell me nothing on no.
on no social media, on the Facebook,
Because if you had to pay for the platform, you wouldn't be on it. I know I wouldn't.
exactly.
Not worth it.
So no, it's setting a whole different.
What did we do before social media? We was doing stuff before.
I mean, well, like
social
I
media.
said,
The Village Now. That's what's from the Village Now. It's all on social media. Everything. Something happened at Grandma Bernadine house is on social media. Somebody say something to the child is on social media. Somebody get a car, it's on social media. And
your baby's over ain't paid child support. It's on social media. Why we know this kind of stuff?
Everybody else. And then I'm at episode 20 of y'all's.
She episode 20 because
And
Kate
then-
will go down the random hole.
And then you want me mind my business. How? Give me 21, please. Thank you.
This our relationship now.
Right. Please, give me 21. She like, I ain't asked no questions. I want to know.
Yeah,
You need to end up, find out.
Just
and
she
call me
do.
back.
She wants to know everything that happened, and I'm like,
Does it make sense to me?
I just,
She's like, oh, they said that such and such, such and such.
and that's
I said,
where I leave it at, because
what
I don't
happened?
care.
I know. I don't care. Shit, I care. I want to know.
Thinking over
Don't
that.
sound right to me.
And you, that's really how we
Sound
are.
all stupid to me.
That is really
Find
how
out
we
what
are.
happened.
That's what makes it so funny though, because that
She just like, I don't know.
yeah,
Like,
I just left it at that. Listen,
well, why Bo get shot? I don't know.
I know he got shot.
He just got shot. He probably got shot somewhere. I don't know. Well, where did he get shot at?
I don't even.
I'm hanging up.
It'd be bad because I don't know the details. Because I don't ask all those questions.
Don't give me no half-ass story. That's what it is. I need to know every part.
That sound like Jake.
Right. See what's up, man.
That is so funny. Oh man.
And you know what? Going back to the survival, I'm strong because if I didn't go out there and be strong, my mother would be like, I'm gonna whip your ass. That's why. Where was CPS back then?
Not wait, but see, you wasn't gonna call him on her.
But she ain't never put her hands on me. She did bang me in my own one day, gave me a frog and made me go to school. Walk me in the office.
She'd have kicked
So
you.
tell him what's wrong. Tell him what's wrong with you. I dare you. I can't hold no pencil. I'm in class like.
Remember, girl? Wait a minute. Because why one day, Corey, when she was at the Catholic school, girl.
You had her?
But it wasn't even meant to be like that. Like I went to like try to reach for her, and she like moved, and I like like grabbed her,
Right.
and I hit on her back, girl. And so,
I can see her now limping.
girl, so wait a minute. I took her to class,
Back broke.
think nothing of it. Girl, when I pick her up from school, girl,
She got a note.
Girl, no, they didn't say anything, but she like, I told Miss Holly Creighton that you hit me in my back. It's like, I'm going to jail. Like, they gonna take my baby from
They
me.
gonna pull the ruler out for you.
Yeah.
You hear her?
I can't believe that. I called mommy like, oh my God, you gonna have to bring her to school tomorrow because they gonna try to get
They
me.
gonna have the police up here with CPS and the social worker. I already know.
I cried all night, girl, because you know that's my baby. I was like, they keep trying to take my baby from me.
But that's what happened to the youth also, because the state of the youth, because they don't have no consequences to their actions. You just do whatever you want to do.
But see, now you sound like Sean. Sean says that. But you know
Because
what
they
my
don't.
rebuttal,
I'm in the school every day. I see it.
but you know what my rebuttal to that is? There's no like consequences, but there's consequences. There's always consequences. You're gonna run into the wrong person, unfortunately. And the
Now running
consequence
into the
will be
wrong
your
person,
life.
but I'm saying like
I know what you
kids
mean.
get caught in the hall sweep every day. You write their name down. They come in. They got to go through this. But it's like this is like your 10th time.
Yeah.
When does the consequence come into play?
Well, because you know what's gonna happen. These same people, these same kids, unfortunately, that attitude is gonna roll out into the real world.
Because somebody told me that they was late for school because there'd be so many people on the street when they be trying to drive to school because they just started driving. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. You know what? I'm gonna come to work late tomorrow, and that's the excuse I'm giving.
Well, don't act like you don't be late all the time. Maybe
Well,
not the
I'll be
work.
late.
You be late to everything. else. Next topic.
Next episode is gonna be why you so late.
Why you shaking your head, Joan?
Steve Harvey said late people live longer.
Who the hell is Steve Harvey? Like, he has no...
Late people live longer. Don't try to shorten my life because I'm late.
You keep on
What
listening
you
to
think?
Steve
Late
Harvey.
people die faster?
Probably.
He said they live longer.
Probably. They be late for their own day in funeral.
Planned on it. Y'all rolled me in 5 minutes late.
Making the what they call it when the entrance.
Oh, God. Y'all roll me in 5 minutes late. And
All
work
right.
me out the place once I get in there
That is
on the
hilarious.
floor.
All right, so at this point we have gotten off of like recapping the episodes.
Right, so now we're going back to what does healing look like? Not this.
Yeah, you wasn't present.
Yeah, I'm still trying to heal,
Yeah, I mean,
and it takes some time. And I think in healing, I think it gives you bipolar too. Trying to heal,
but I'm sure you've healed in some aspects. Like,
and oh yes, in a lot of aspects I have healed.
yeah,
I have healed in a lot of aspects.
you know, it's a journey. That's what we talked about last week. I know you said you hadn't been able to actually listen to the whole episode, but it's a journey. It's not a race.
Right. Nobody gets to the line first. You're healing.
Nope.
It's your responsibility and your time.
Mm-hmm.
It's never too early. It's never too late.
And it's no order.
Right.
There's no particular order, and sometimes you have to repeat a step.
Several times.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So I know that subject in itself is hard
Right.
for a lot of people, but we're gonna ask you all, what does healing look like to you? Someone asked me yesterday, what I do to, how do I handle like grieving the loss of my father? And I told him, I said, I journal, you know, and when I miss him, I write him a letter in my journal, and with that, it allows me to know when I have these moments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I can go back and say, okay, this time last year, I had the same moment around this time. And
because if after a while if you look back and you think back, it's like deja vu.
Yeah.
I've been at this place in my healing before. It seems like I'm back here, but you don't even pay attention to It may be around the holiday,
It could be anything. Seasonal.
birthday.
It's
You never know. You never know.
my birthday is a hard one for me. Father's Day is hard for me, and my actual birthday.
My birthday is hard too because it never failed. It doesn't matter. My father always had me a Carvel ice cream cake.
And I kept that up for a couple years, and I have not, and I beat myself up about it.
He would, matter of fact, the last one that he got me, I did not eat it all, and it's still in my freezer to this day. And that's, and with my healing, I talk to both of my parents out loud in the house and be telling them stuff. Because as a mother, I want my mother too.
Right. We need them.
So I talk out loud to both of them. And I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but sometimes, both of my parents smoked. And when they're on my mind real heavy, I smell cigarette smoke.
That might be them just letting you know that they're...
But I'm saying like it's like somebody got a cigarette up under my nose.
That might be them letting you know. Listen, I remember when my dad first passed, like the week after he passed, I had a dream. We were in this park. I don't even know these damn people that he was sitting on his bench talking to, but I walked up and I'm like, Daddy. And he was like, yeah, I'm okay, baby. And you ain't gonna tell me that was not him telling me, like, get yourself together. I am okay. And I was like...
I remember hearing my father call me one night and in my sleep. But, I'm like, I jump up and I run downstairs and, of course, Doc looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm worried, like, what's wrong? And I come back upstairs and I told him, I said, my father was just calling me. He said, oh, okay. He ain't know what to say.
He was like, look, he was like,
I guess he, oh, okay. Right. I guess he's like, oh, okay. Like, she probably do need to go talk to somebody tonight.
Not talk.
Tonight.
We make the problem is us two in particular don't take nothing serious, but we do. You feel me? Like we get serious, but then it's always a comedic effect to it.
No, because I'm telling you, he was looking at me out the corner of his eye when I was falling back to sleep, like to say.
He was sleeping with one eye open that night, baby.
He probably was thinking to himself, like, well, did he call her? Like, because he even had that look on his face, like, even Braxton was like, right. You heard something. Because he jumped up too. I guess he like, I'm going to run down here with her. But.
I mean. So
healing looks like whatever.
It looks like for that person.
Yeah. Because somebody may look healed on the outside. But honey, they're on the inside.
They not.
They not. And it just may take one wrong saying for them to bring it all out. So that goes back to saying you never know what somebody is going through. Just because they don't communicate it with you doesn't mean that they're not going through anything. Sometimes if you're going through so much of your own and somebody knows that, they don't want to bring in or come and vent to you about what they're going through because you have enough on your plate.
And that's a perfect example of, so last week when we had this discussion, I said it's times where I don't feel like, can you open that up there, please? It's times where I don't feel like I know I can, but I won't go to Sean with the issue. Go to Sean with the issue because not saying that he wouldn't be there, but I mean, I'm sorry, I worded that completely wrong. It's not about, you want this? Not going to him with the issue, but I did say that, like, sometimes I don't say it to him when I'm going through it because I don't want to put that on him. Right. You know, It's so heavy.
He has enough.
Right. And it's so heavy for me to carry by myself. Like, I don't even know how to release that onto someone else without, like, I remember when he first passed, and somebody sent me something, and when I opened it, it was like a picture of my dad. And I like broke down in my kitchen. And he just like looked at me, like, he just hugged me. And it was like, he didn't know what to say in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew that it was it's heavy for me to carry, but it's even heavier for him to see me going through it. Because he loved me that much. And he can't take it away. It's like a mother and a child almost. You see your child in pain and you can't take that from them.
Exactly.
You have to let them go through it. And it was like, that's what I felt for him. Like if he could just reach at me and take it all away, he would, because he loved me that much that I know
you
he
can
was
see the hurt in his eyes
from me being hurt. Right. So it's like, I don't want to put that on him, you know, and that goes back to trying to be strong all the day. Right. But I do have my moments where I just melt, and
but you know what, that goes back to that. And also, I think our next episode should be communication.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's hard for us to communicate everything because you just don't have the words to say.
I mean, we got 5 minutes. We can make that the topic right now.
Well, we sure can. Communication is the key
to life.
Right.
It really is. If people
the way you communicate.
Yes. And if people just would communicate more.
Right.
Like, and be clear about what it is that you're saying and what it is that you want. Right. So many more things would be cleared up. We wouldn't have issues, you know. It wouldn't be all of these issues amongst people. Exactly. You know, issues amongst friends, inside of friend groups, issues amongst relationships.
Issues inside of family groups.
Yeah.
Because I see that a lot too. And the issue doesn't really have to be an issue if we would just communicate.
And be clear about it. Like, say what you mean and mean what you say.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. And I mean, I'm guilty of it myself sometimes, because I feel like a lot of times we don't communicate because we don't.
I'm guilty of it too.
Want to hurt the other person's feelings.
You should know what I'm.
Right.
You should know what I'm thinking.
And that's just not even possible.
That's not possible. But it's like sometimes the communication lacks, because it's like the way that people interpret what you're communicating. Sometimes it'll make you shut down and not communicate. And then here you are not saying what you're really feeling, because communication is communication. Communication doesn't mean that you have to be in the middle of an argument. Doesn't mean you have to agree. Doesn't mean that you have to disagree.
And so and with that communication and disagreeing, it is okay to disagree. It is okay. And because you know what I hate to hear people say, all right, but we just going to agree to disagree. No, we just going to disagree. And I'm okay with that. Like, it's okay that we don't have to agree on everything.
Exactly.
That's what makes us different. We arrived to this right here because of our backgrounds and what we've been through and what led us up to this. So we're not going to agree on everything.
Exactly. And sometimes we just need to talk about things to get things off of our chest. To let it go. That way you don't hoard on to whatever. And it shouldn't make you feel any kind of way. You should just be receiving and moving on.
Which is hard. It's not always easy.
No, it's not.
But you're right. That's something that I hate.
But if it's something that somebody's telling you not to tear you down, but to help you, you should receive it.
So it's definitely but see, that does go back to how you say things.
Right.
Like, people think they can just spit malice at you and you're just supposed to be. And I'm like, no, that's not.
Because I'm gonna take the wrong. Take it the wrong way.
Because guess what? If you can spit it that way, then you need to be able to receive what I was giving back to you.
Exactly. And most times people can't.
And you should care enough to not want to hurt me when you're telling me whatever.
Right.
But you hear people say, like, it don't matter how I said it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That plays a whole role in what you say.
And how the person receive it, how it comes out. Like if like you said, a person should be able to tell you something. If you're telling me something in love, it ain't gonna come out with a whole bunch of attitude.
And base.
Yeah. So yeah,
because that's what starts the argument most time.
Mm-hmm.
The way something is said.
Yeah. Definitely. And I know sometimes we all come off but say things the wrong way. But that's when it comes time that we need to regroup if we notice the person didn't receive it as we were saying. Right.
What we were saying. But with no malice intent. But
then rather than people have such a hard time just saying, well, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And just saying, you know what? Because my thing is, if you didn't mean it that way, why are you fighting me when I'm telling you how I took it? Just be like, you know what? Well, I really didn't mean it that way.
Right.
You know. But see, that's where the pride and the ego, you know, comes in. And
I'm working on that for myself too.
Well, that's good to know. Mm-hmm. You know what we skipped over?
Just be like, fuck it.
And we just dove right in.
What?
How's your week been?
Oh, my week just been good. It's not going by fast enough. It's only Tuesday. I had about 3 hours off Saturday, 3 off Sunday, boom, back to work Monday.
Not 3 hours.
That's what it felt. That's what it felt like.
That's because you was out running the streets.
Oh, I can't say that I wasn't. I was out partying. Woo, woo. No, only day party, not night party. Because at night I'm for the sheets.
Not the streets. Not the screen.
The fitted and the flat. Yeah. With the quilt on top and the heat on the bed. Night.
I just had this conversation
maybe like 7:30.
I'm with you. Like if I wasn't here right now, I would be home in the bed. But I love y'all, so I come do this every Tuesday with my
right. I can be thinking about what I'm having when I go in the house. Eat me some grapes.
Ugh. Anyway. I don't really care for grapes.
But some cube cheese.
Oh.
Well, I could drink some wine.
Oh, okay. Thank you for my glass, girl. You seen my wine.
You drinking your wine? Being grown.
Yes, I was. Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of took us off a track, but because we normally start off by asking everyone how they're doing. And
right, and we did not. We just jumped into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if she had a bad weekend, a rough weekend, and here we
are. Well, you want to jump into it, though.
The next topic.
You want to jump into it, though.
Did she stop me?
I didn't. I was just ready.
49 minutes later, she remembered.
Well, I had a good weekend. I didn't do anything, and it was awesome. So,
well, maybe this weekend you'll be put in a nursing home.
Oh, a whole nursing home. For
memory.
Jeez Louise. I only got 1 year on you. Let's not
Well, that's right.
Push me there just yet.
We're going there together.
Let's communicate effectively here.
Okay. I wonder if
and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you put me in a nursing home.
Just because if you're going to be forgetting things, I would hate for you to be home with my cousins, making their life miserable because you forgot things.
They're going to take care of me.
Oh, that's me, forgetting everything.
They're going to take care of me. But no, the topic of communication, I do feel like is a very important.
And the way you communicate.
Yeah.
Even with your children.
Yes. Oh, man. So I've always felt like your children learn how to communicate from you. Mm-hmm. With that, they have to be allowed to communicate with you and it not be disrespect because they say to you how they feel.
Right.
Like, no, growing up, I'm not going to say I wasn't allowed because I could talk to my mother about pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah, I could talk to mine, too.
And like I said, it's not going to be like, Corey knows she can come to me and be like, well, Ma, the other day when you said XYZ, like, you know, that made me feel some kind of way. Like, she ain't coming at me, like, ready to fight or nothing, but she just be like, well, she always make me feel bad because she'll be like, well, why you say it like that? And I'm like, because
I've been told you clean that shit up 1,000 times.
Then I have to check myself, though, because I'm like, ugh. Because I always say to her, like, I'm not going to come off at you just like I wouldn't want nobody else to. Mm-hmm. Because we teach them what's okay and what's not okay, you know? And it's not okay just because it's coming from me as your mother. Like, if anything.
And also with the way we communicate, we teach people how to treat us.
Yeah. Yeah, because some people, if you're just nasty, I don't even want to talk to you. Keep them away from me. Like, instantly when I see you, I'm like,
Like, two things gonna happen here. Either I'm gonna dismiss myself or I'm gonna get right nasty to you.
Right, and I don't want to do that with people. Like, I'm at a point in my life where
getting nasty is not what I want to do.
I don't want to reciprocate energy. I just want to.
I just want all good energy around me.
Exactly.
And if you coming in bad energy, I'm gonna need you to just stay away.
Agreed.
Or go with your clique that you fit with, the bad energy clique. I don't want it.
Well, there are so many different types of communication, though. Like, well, because we have so many different types of communication devices.
Right.
But the overall concept is still the same.
When you know somebody, and you can kind of interpret the way they
how they're saying something or
in a text online, whatever. You can kind of interpret.
Because you can, like, even communicate with your body language. You know, I tell Sean, like, you can tell when it's like I can't describe it. It's almost like he just gets tight when he's upset with me. And I might be like, you want something to eat? No, I'm good. Like,
that's another thing that I have to get the communication, the stubbornness. Because my stomach can be in my back, but if I'm pissed off, I'm not telling you I want nothing to eat.
No, I'm eating.
No, you asked me, do I want some ice cream? I'm getting some ice. I'm gonna let you know I'm getting some ice cream.
I'm eating. See, but
but not from you giving it to me.
But see, that's what, like, Sean and I was just having this conversation because of some stuff that was going on, and I was like, for me, I just don't get it because, and I know everybody is not like me, but if something bothers me, I am going to say it to him. Like, I don't want to walk around mad. I don't want to walk around you having to try to figure out what's wrong with me. I'm gonna be straight up like, so what's going on with XYZ? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming straight to it. You gonna tell me whatever you gonna tell me. I'm gonna take your word of that. Now, if I see something else that don't look right to me or whatever, but I don't care what it is. Like, I'm going to say, I'm not just going along and sitting around mad and hovering and trying to
and slamming doors.
Yeah, and trying to, you know,
stomping around.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like,
turning my back when I get in the bed.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, I literally
I did that stuff years ago.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, come on, let me grab your bowl here.
Yeah, like, I just want to be straight up. You know, like, look, this is what happened. This is what I noticed, and this is how it made me feel.
Right.
What was it?
And that's how you should be able to communicate with him or anybody that you're close to.
Exactly. And I tell him that all this. So we literally was just talking about this yesterday because I was like, because we was talking about something else. And I was like, because you know me, I'm going to just come straight out and ask you if I think whatever, rather than playing in my mind and letting it.
Because your mom will play tricks on you.
Telling her I don't mind.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to just come out and
I'm an overthinker.
Yeah. And like I told him, though, I'm your wife. I can ask you whatever I want. I ain't going to talk about, no, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Right. And then we just both bust out laughing. But I'm like, I'm going to ask you whatever it is. I'm going to free that up off my heart, out my mind, and I'm going to move on about it. Yeah. I'm literally, and he know this, like, I literally ask it, and that's where I leave it. Whatever answer you give me, that's where I leave it. Unless something else come up that's looking the same, and I'm like, now hold up.
You told me it was A and B, but now I'm starting to see A, B, and C.
Right.
Now we got a problem.
Now we got a problem. But
so
yeah, like,
you feel like you need to add something into what you told me.
Communication is so important. Like, we literally just had this conversation. Was it yesterday? I feel like it was yesterday. Him and I just had this conversation. It was either yesterday or the day before. But we just had this conversation.
And the conversation, the communication goes back to healing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the person may not be healed enough to communicate about whatever it is.
Whatever is
that may be going on with them. And it doesn't mean that they're acting funny. And I don't think that if somebody is trying to heal, that you should pressure them.
But you know what? And it's funny that you said that.
Throw stuff at them to try to make them see it and heal from it. Because sometimes you don't know, you may be throwing more hurt on this person.
It's funny that you said it, though, because literally, the situation that we were talking about, it's not anything with him and I, but we were talking about a situation. That's what the problem is. I feel like a person involved in that situation has not healed completely.
Right. And that's possible.
And until they do, the communication is going to lag. There's going to be those, you know what I'm saying? Everything that we was just talking about is going to be that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because communication is very important. People don't even understand. It's just like even at work. I remember the one lady, she was going through something and she was like, you know, I'm not doing this because that wasn't part of it. I said, well, go tell them that. And again, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. So just go in there and say, look, I don't feel comfortable. I don't think a job will have you doing anything that you don't feel comfortable doing, because guess what? That's a liability on them.
Right.
So be straight up. I'm not comfortable doing that. You know? And she did, and she came out and she was like, he was okay with it. Oh, Lord. Here you go.
Okay, wait till tomorrow.
I work from home the rest of the week.
Looking.
No. Key and John find something funny. I say.
You say you work from home the rest of the week.
One day we're going to have our producer sitting over here. Meg Dab in the middle.
She off Wednesday,
part of the conversation.
Friday, if you ask me. I know for sure I couldn't work from home. I wouldn't get anything done.
I can always be quiet.
Well then. Welcome in.
Hey, John. John sits there and shakes his head at us, y'all.
And laughs.
He's in disbelief at some of the things that we say.
Well,
No, it's not that I'm in disbelief, but funny. Some of it. Well, y'all always funny. And I'll be agreeing with y'all. Then y'all jokes come through real quick.
right. We have wit. We have a lot of wit.
Okay.
That's a family trait, I feel like.
Yes. Right. Possibly.
Mm-hmm. Quite well. Did you ever figure out when Grammy's birthday was?
No, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to have to ask Brenda.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sure she'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was a side note. That was like a whole personal conversation that we had.
We just trying to figure out when our great-grandmother's birthday is.
So
if any family is looking at this and they know,
type it in the comments. When is Grammy's birthday?
When is Grammy's birthday?
I think it's in December, though.
Let's say March.
Oh,
Because I got a video of them having something, but I'm not sure if it was a church event or it was her birthday. I got to look and see what the cake said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lil really wanted to know.
Okay.
So, yeah. But anyway. Why I pause like that?
Because it looks like John's going to sleep.
How much longer we got, John? No, he over there playing a game on his phone.
Oh. Well, I gotta go to the bathroom.
We can wrap it up. We can wrap it up.
You go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because we already like an hour in almost.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us today.
Today's episode was produced by Infinite Social Solutions. They specialize in website registration, social media management, website hosting, and computer repair. You can contact John Williams, owner and IT specialist, with any inquiries at 443-681-9306 or by email at info@infsocialsolutions.com. My glasses at? Jumbled up together.
And as always,
UNITY.
and as always.